What is going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. Hope you guys are all doing well. It's been a while since I made a video, but we have to talk about The Flash and Ezra Miller because there's been some updates since our last Ezra Miller video. It seems like we're talking about him a lot because there are some leaks that have come out for The Flash movie, and we're going to talk about what WB may do with Ezra Miller as a result of some of the recent events that transpired. But we'll talk about that in just a second. First, we have to talk about the WB and Discovery merger. I'm going to make this real quick, but I do want to talk about it because if you're a fan of Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Snyderverse, you were probably rooting for some of these exits that were just announced. Let's get to this really quick. I'm not going to read the article, which you can check out over here. It's on Variety. So this one says basically Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar exits ahead of merger with Discovery. A lot of people were rooting for this because where Jason Kilar was once seemingly an ally for the Snyderverse, I guess after it got released, he started blocking a bunch of people and not really responding. And I feel bad for the guy because he's probably just doing his job. You know, he was really trying to, he may have wanted the Snyderverse or he may have wanted the movie to perform well, but really at the end of the day, he was doing his job. He wanted the streaming service to do well. And of course, he was interacting with fans. And after that, after the toxicity and the probably flooding of his inboxes, of course he's going to start blocking people and not responding to everybody. So I don't blame him for that, but there's probably other things he did that I maybe am missing. Anyways, let's go to what Grace Randolph says about this. Grace Randolph says, so far the Warner Brothers departures do not affect the film division and we're totally expected. So yeah, a lot of fans were imagining this was going to be the case because we got David Zaslav coming in for Discovery, who's going to be taking over the ship. A lot of people expected a lot of the old guard at Warner Brothers to be leaving, and so Jason Kilar was one of them. Ann Sarnoff, who I think Ann Sarnoff, if I remember correctly, was the one who termed the cul-de-sac Zack Snyder's just she called Zack Snyder's universe a cul-de-sac. And I gotta admit, just because of that alone, I am somewhat happy she's gone. Because if you're gonna talk about that, this property that so many people hold dearly, and you're gonna call it a cul-de-sac during an interview that kind of releases right after the Snyder Cut comes out, I'm kind of glad you're gone. Anyways, I'm not sure how much say she had in the film division. I forget what her title was, but kind of glad she's gone. Andy for Cell, I'm not sure exactly what he did in the company. But anyways, Grace says, we must wait and see if any unexpected heads roll. And indeed, there are some rumors that the merger could be complete by even the end of this week. So we shall see. Only time will tell. Anyways, she goes on to say, anyone excited about these departures doesn't know anything nor understand the film business. And I don't claim to understand or be in the know with anything going on in the film business. She's probably saying this because there's a lot of people attacking her, saying that this is a sign that Restore the Snyderverse is happening or whatever. And I think that's just a lot of Snyder fans that we're happy to see them go, and maybe calling a lot of people, if you follow Grace on Twitter or follow what's going on, she seems to be a controversial figure a lot, but she does get a lot of things right. Anyways, I'm happy they're gone only for the sake of what they did in the past in terms of their, relaying their thoughts on whether this universe is going to continue. But, these departures, like Grace says, par for the course. And I'm just excited to see what is going to happen in the future. Let me know what you guys think. Do you see Walter Hamada leaving? Do you see Jeff Johns being canned? I don't know. Gotta admit, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Let me know if you guys have any predictions in the comments down below. Anyways, let's get to this juicy stuff right here. First, we're going to be talking about the Flash film leaks. And second, we are going to be talking about Ezra Miller in this whole situation. So first off, I am not going to cover everything in regards to these leaks. A lot of these leaks leaked on Reddit and they made their way onto Twitter. Didn't want to talk about them. There's some things, and I'm just at this point, I'm just right here looking at the Flash Film news site. Nothing really huge here. I'm not going to go in order with some of these things, but what I did want to talk about, I'm going to put out a few key things that I took notice of. I don't want to spoil the whole movie. Now, I will admit this is spoilers here, and but I don't want to go into it telling everyone every little detail, because if they happen to be true, your experience watching the movie, while I know a lot of you guys probably want it to fail, your experience watching the movie will be diminished by knowing some of these things. But we are going to talk about some of them, so just be warned. So, going to go off some of the points that I took notes of. There is a tease for Reverse Flash, and it would be incomplete of this movie to not have a tease for the Reverse Flash. I thought, if you're doing the Flashpoint storyline, why wouldn't you have Reverse Flash in the movie? Turns out this is obviously going to be somewhat of an adaptation, and I'm kind of glad at this point. I'm kind of glad we didn't get him now because of all the chaotic things that have been happening behind the scenes and this being pushed back. I'm kind of glad that he wasn't wasted as a villain as of yet. So, anyways, there's a tease for Reverse Flash. It's very subtle, apparently, but if you're a fan of the comics or if you know the character, you'll know it's him when you see him in the movie. Second, Ezra Miller is great, apparently, in the movie, and there are some emotional scenes in this movie that are going to simply bring you to tears, as they did the test screenings. I should mention that there were test screenings for this movie. The first, I think it's the first one, and they've been largely positive. Future Flash is the main villain, and I won't say any more outside of the fact that there are more than just two Flashes in this movie. I won't give away anything else just because what I saw was a little spoilery. I mean, I'm obviously going into this knowing that there's spoilers, but I don't want it to be all given away. I apologize for this phone call. I've been getting spam calls all day. Anyways, Future Flash is in the movie, and but there's multiple Flashes. There's more than one Future Flash. Anyways, a big part of this movie is Flash trying to stop the Zod invasion from happening, trying to find ways for them to stop Zod. And while Michael Shannon is reprising his role, there is a lot of talk on the internet and leaks about a baby Kal-El being killed by General Zod. And more so, there is some more neck snapping in this movie and killing in this movie that is apparently very brutal. So, obviously, it's going to trigger some Snyder fans because they were crucified for all the killing that happened in, like, maybe BVS or whatever. And yeah, anyways, I'm not on either side of those fences. I'm for whatever the movie needs to tell. So anyways, there's gonna be some brutal moments in this movie. Obviously, Feora, we already knew she was gonna be back in the movie. Okay, here's some of the more juicier stuff right here. And this is something that's not surprising because if you followed DC fandom, you know that Jim Lee was talking about potential crisis event happening, and there apparently is a connection to the wider DC universe. It's going to establish another timeline, as we know, but there is apparently room for Robert Pattinson to enter this universe. Now, whether or not that he's going to become the Batman of the future or just appear in this crisis event that may be happening, that is all up in the air as of right now. I personally can't see it happening, and I don't want it to happen. I kind of like Pattinson where he's at, but apparently Michael Keaton is still just the temporary Batman, and at his age, of course, he's just going to be a temporary Batman. So we know this part. We know that Batfleck. There's room for more, and that's going to be teased in the post credits. But another thing that is teased in the post credits is a potential nod to Henry Cavill's Superman. Now, this is a scene where Sasha Calle is in which apparently she's one of the best parts of the movie, Sasha Calle's Supergirl. And apparently Flash is trying to find out if Superman exists in whatever universe he's currently in. And he's asking this of Aquaman, and apparently the screen cuts to Sasha Calle, then cuts back to Flash, and as if someone's behind her, there's a smile on Flash's face. That's what I read, okay? That's what I read. That is not to say that Henry Cavill will for sure be in it. They could pull a thing like they did in Shazam, so who knows? Last we heard is that Superman will just be showing up in a TV, on the TV or whatever, which is disappointing and which would be terrible. Anyways, the last thing I want to say about the Flash leaks is that Um, there's a potential talk for recast on the Reddit leaks, and Sam Claflin, I think he's the guy from the Hunger Games. Sam Claflin. Yeah, he is. So Sam Claflin is potentially someone who could replace the Flash if they need to recast. And at this point, would you blame Warner Brothers? Would you blame them if they needed to recast? Because, let's talk about Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller. So if you were watching, I saw the John Campea episode just recently in which they talk about this whole controversy and what WB would do. And it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what we all think, because I think, well, it doesn't matter what we all think, and I proceed to say what I think. But anyways, here's what John Campea says. John Campea says that he sent an email out to one of his connects over at DC, and often he sends these emails out and doesn't get a response, but he gets a late response from someone, and basically the response was about what they're going to do about Ezra Miller. Will he face consequences? The response was, we are weighing our options. Now, obviously, that could mean a lot of different things. They're weighing their options of whether they're going to, or what they're going to do with Ezra Miller, or who they're going to recast him as, or, you know, what to do after it's released. They could, that answer could mean that they're going to replace him, or they haven't decided if they're going to replace him, or they're not going to replace him, and what they're going to do about his mental health or whatever. So it could mean a lot of things. But curious to see what you guys would say. What I think, and again, it doesn't matter what we think at the end of the day, but what I think is, and I'm pretty sure this is going to happen, I think Warner Brothers is just going to let this all blow over like they did the choking incident. And it's crazy to think that they fired someone like Johnny Depp from Fantastic Beasts for what happened with Amber Heard and that whole situation in their personal lives. And Ezra's caught on film choking someone, and they haven't done anything about it. They haven't said anything, and I think that's the play that they're going to continue playing this whole time. They're going to continue with that play, not saying anything until the Flash comes out. They got a whole year to ignore this whole situation. I don't see why they would say anything now if they didn't say anything before. They're going to, if he is indeed dealing with mental issues, then I hope he gets the help. But it's kind of sad that Warner Brothers, they're treating it this way. Now, I'm a fan of Ezra Miller's. I've only seen him in like Perks Being a Wallflower. What else? He is in Invincible, the animated show. Basically playing himself, and he's in Zack Snyder's Justice League BVS, and I've been a fan of him, to be honest. Sad situation. I hope the guy can get better. I am not above, as you know, with me and the James Gunn situation, a lot of Snyder fans being against James Gunn. I am a fan of, forgiveness and letting people grow. And I hope he can address this and fix himself, man. And I do hope he issues an apology, because I don't think someone can do this out in real life and not face any consequences. So I'm a fan of him. If they recast it, though, I gotta say, if they recasted, I wouldn't be mad at Warner Brothers, and I wouldn't be, causing a scene or jumping on any movements to what's it called, ban or boycott Warner Brothers because of Ezra Miller's actions. There's consequences. I hope he gets his help. But anyways, if he continues, I'm still gonna watch Flash movie 2 and everything and support him. I mean, again, hopefully he issues an apology for all these crazy things that he's done. Anyways, my question to you guys to leave this video is, if Ezra Miller was recast, would you still support this Flash movie? Would you not? Are you open, or are you for recasting him? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.